Dear friends, welcome back. In this video, I'd like to take a look at one machine on the Van Hub, which is Board Hacker Block Montreal-Tricop. The link will be added into the description section below so that you can download and play the machine. I think this machine deserves your own practice because this machine involves so many important techniques. And from my point of view, the most important skill of all would be pivoting. As you know, pivoting can allow us to utilize one compromised machine or system to penetrate into the other machines. For example, the other machines in the internal network. So this technique we need to, take into consideration very much. So without further ado, let's just get started. Of course, here's some description of this machine. So the port number 8000 is not in the scope. Without further ado, let's just get started. We can switch over to the Kali Linux VM. And first of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. We can use sudo net discover, press enter. As you can see over here, the IP address of the target could be recognized as 131. So what do we have to do next? We need to do the port scanning with a map. We can use a map, and I'd like to auto-complete this command. As you can see over here, I use the option like scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, followed by the -p to do the comprehensive scan or full range port scan. And from the map scanning, we can tell that the target has 1, 2, 3 open port numbers in total. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service, and also the version information, including the exact version number. Although this version is not very updated, but I don't think we can find any vulnerability except the username enumeration vulnerability, which is not what we want at this moment. The next one is 8000. Of course, just instructed by the author. This is not, in the scope of this project. And the last one is 9000. Which is also running HTTP service. So what do we have to do next? We need to open up the browser because I think there should be some instruction. And we can open up browser and put the IP address of the target into the address bar. We need to specify the port number 8000. So the proxy, I need to turn off the proxy or disable the proxy, and let's hit enter. And as you can see here, some more information about this machine or our tasks. So you're here on special mission, a mission to take down one of the biggest weapons supplier. This page will be used for communication, or this port number will be used for communication. And to get started on a mission and get instructions, enter flag in the box below. So I think in this, for this mission, I will not strictly follow standard methodology of pen testing. I'd like to follow and follow instructions instead. And so to start our mission, we can copy this first flag. To begin with, we can submit. So here we can get different information back from the target. So I need your help taking them down before something major happens. I have something information about the computer network. Accessing port number 80 will get you the public facing site. Just now, we didn't discover or recognize the port number 80, and maybe this earlier this port number is closed. So now we can run the map again. So this time we got this port number 80 running, and next we can access this port number. Of course, this is the default port number by web application. So we just put the IP address of the target, which is enough. So here, welcome to this blog. All our business is legit. Check out our blog posts. We can open the first post in new tab, and nothing special or nothing interesting. The information of the page itself. However, if you can notice the pattern of URL, this is very familiar for us, right? And possibly this has local file inclusion vulnerability. To test, we can use different ways. For example, we can access the password file. Yeah, as you can see, we successfully retrieved the content of a password file. And to take this information more clearly, we can view its source. However, we cannot find the normal usernames. So what do we have to do next? Maybe next we need to check whether this file parameter has remote file inclusion vulnerability. To test it, we can create the simple file, and we need to set up the web server by Python on the Kali Linux. And now we can go back to the browser and access the resource on the Kali Linux remotely. Test, press enter. As you can see, the content of the file test has been grabbed. So it means that this file community parameter indeed has the remote file inclusion vulnerability. So what do we have to do next? Of course, here our objective here, normally we need to get the initial foothold on the target. And how to do? We can, of course, I've already got the PHP reversal file already, which you can get it from the website like a Pentest Monkey website. So now we can, access this file to get the initial shell on the target. Before we do that, we can set up we have already set up web server. And for now, we just set up the listener by Netcat and wait for the collection from the target. And now go back to the browser, and we can change the file name to shell PHP. Let's press enter, and now we go back or pull up the terminal. As you can see, we have already got the shell on the target, and even we have already, got the first flag. We can cut out this flag. So this should be the first flag. We can copy, and also we can paste on our notebook. And in the meantime, we can submit this flag. Okay, so I think the progress has been made, and also we are returned by the web application with the instruction for the next flag. So it appears that doesn't keep anything suspicious on the public server. We need to start collecting information from internal network now. One of our agents who has infiltrated Monitoring Corp mentioned that there is internal picture database site. Of course, so next we need to discover this site or this machine. And this machine is in the internal network, and also give us the IP range for this internal network, and we can copy. Next. So next, I think we need to, utilize the power of a Metasploit, because Metasploit can give us the module to make pivoting. Because what we are going to do next, we need to make pivoting to the internal network. And before we can do such a thing, we need to, upgrade the current shell to the MetaPrater. Okay, so how to do? And we can navigate to temp directory where we can, play around to almost everything. We can upload and execute anything, right? Or like shell script. So we can open up tab and to, upgrade to the MetaPrater session, we need to create the MetaPrater payload with MSF Vellum, MS Vellum, and I'd like to auto-complete the command. Of course, you need to check out the kernel and also the architecture. Architecture is 64, so this is the reason why I'm using the payload, which is suitable for this architecture, 64-bit. Okay. So, and of course, we need to use different port number or free port number on the Kali Linux. So for now, we just hit enter to create the payload. And afterwards, we can upload this payload to the target. And we can use wget. Of course, we need to check the availability of the wget on the target. It's there. And then we can upload this payload. And we need to make it executable. And before we run this payload, we need to, set up the handler by Metasploit. And we can launch Metasploit console. Use exploit multi-handler module, and we need to, of course, we need to set a payload. This payload should be the same as this one when we create the payload with MSF Vellum. We can copy and paste in here, and we need to show options. I think we just set the local port number, local host to be Kali Linux. Also the port number, this port number must be the same as when we create the payload with MSF Vellum as well. So 666, and we can run it. So then has started reverse TCP handler. And now it will go back to this terminal and hit enter. And then we successfully retrieved the MetaPrater, and you can run command. For example, we can get to know I think this is the compromised machine, and we can copy, and this should be the compromised machine. Okay, and or in this case should be the container. Okay, so how to do next? Just told by the message here, there is an internal picture database site. So we need to find out which site is running such a picture database site. So how to do? And to make a pivoting, generally for me, there are at least two ways. The first way, we can use, of course we need to set up the we can use Metasploit and to set up the route to the internal network. This is what I'm going to do next. And next we can, we can set up the port forwarding, and by built-in command of the MetaPrater, okay, port forwarding and add, and we can use the normal L option to specify the local port number to be listened on, and also we can use the -P to specify the remote port number, and we can use the -R to specify the remote host to connect to. Okay, and then we can use the for example the local browser of the Kali Linux to access this port number and to access the local port number. So this would be the first way. And I always use this way. However, there is another or alternative to this method. We can use the module socks or proxy after we get the Metapreter session, and so we can use Metasploit to set up the socks proxy, and then we can, of course, we need to put the socks proxy information into the proxy chains configurations file, okay? And then, of course, and then, for example, we can use proxy chain to, for example, to do some a map, or maybe we can use the, like a Burp Suite, so anything like that. So this case, first of all, I'd like to create the route to the internal network. We can use the run auth root, and we can use the normal S option to specify the network to be connected to. Okay, so route has been set up properly. So next, I think we need to make a scanning against this internal network. So far, we have already set up the route. So then I think we can, make a scanning against this network. And to do that, we need to background the current Metapreter session by pressing keys Control and Z on the keyboard. And then we can search port TCP scanner, and we can use which one? Yeah, I think this one, this module, and we can copy, and we can show options. We just set a remote host to the internal network. And also we can set port number to be something like 80, and let's run it. As you can see, immediately we found another or new machine, which is 172.17.0.4, and the port number 80 is running. And if we use the first method to, to make pivoting, and we can use this command like forwarding at, and this technique I have been demonstrating for many times. And this case, although we can, use this way to make exploitation, however, also a bit weird. It's not a very stable one. So to save time of this video, I'd like to take the second method. Okay, and if you want me to showcase this technique as well, please let me know in the comment below. Although I mentioned, I've already demonstrated this technique for many times. Okay, so how to do? We can let it run, and maybe I'd like to let it finished, and then I will come back. See you there. All right, as you can see over here, it's over. The scanning is over. Only found the new one new machine. The address is full. So next, I'd like to take the second method, and the route has been set up. And next, I'd like to, configure or set up the proxy, socks proxy. So let me show you. So how to do? We can search socks proxy, and the first one is I'm looking for. We can use and paste over here, and then we can show options. We do not need to set the username and password. And this is the port number used by this socks proxy. So now we just run it, and the socks proxy server has started up, and we can open up a new tab. And if you use the ss command to display active port number on the Linux, as you can see, this port number is listening on, wait for collection. Okay, so how to do next? We can, we can go to the browser, and we need to access this machine. Which one? 0.4. And so how to do? And we can, configure Fox proxy, and we can enable the MET proxy. I've already configured earlier, so now we can select or choose, and now we can open up another tab. Press enter. As you can see, we got this or new web application back. It looks like we can upload some sort of files. However, we need to supply the password to make it work. So it means that we need to make brute forcing against the password field. And this is where BurberSuite comes into play. And we can maybe, we can use the original. We assume that the target doesn't have any control in place. So I'd like to copy the shell to another one, and we can make modification. The port number, we can use different port number, and of course we need to use different port number or free port number on the Kali Linux. And we need to set up the listener and go back. So next, also the technique is also very useful. And the next we need to use BurberSuite. And so I think the proxy should be turned to burp. So then how to use the default proxy of BurberSuite together with the SOCKS proxy. And actually we need to do some configuration with BurberSuite. So then all traffic will go through all or two proxies rather than just one, because we need to force our traffic from the client to go through two proxies. Okay, the SOCKS proxy will allow us to access the internal resource or internal application, and the second proxy is used by the BurberSuite. And so then BurberSuite or the default BurberSuite can intercept request and also can make a brute forcing. Okay, so how to do? I'd like to turn on the BurberSuite and launch our BurberSuite. And we can make sure the intercept is on. And also we need to, why open, and just close up, proxy settings. We can search SOCKS, and we need to use SOCKS proxy, and also do not do DNS lookups over SOCKS proxy. And we can close up this tab, and we can browse to our working directory. So which one? And select the second, and password anything like admin login, and we can send the request to intruder module, and we can clear all existing fields and scroll down to the bottom. We can add the $. We will attack against this variable or this field. So we can load the very short password dictionary, and then we can start. So cannot resolve host name, ignore. As you can see, we successfully launched attack, and immediately from the names, we can know that by comparing the names, I think we do not need to, proceed this attack. I think we have already found this simple password, which is password. Okay, so I'd like to close up the intruder module and also can close the Boba suite. And also we can turn to the MedPreter proxy, press enter. So make sure the proxy has been turned on the So I think this is another problem. Maybe we need to set up the proxy server again. We can run it. And make sure okay, so we can set up the listener. Now we go back to the browser, press enter. So even I think the MedPreter session is not very stable. I think stopping. Why this port number is still open? A bit weird, right? It's not working. A bit weird. I need to fix it out. After I restart the Metasploit, and then we can access this application again. And so far we have already got the password, which is password, and we can select the shell file, PHP reverse shell file, and we can log in. And as you can see, the file has been uploaded successfully. So next we can access, make sure the listener has started. No, we can set up the listener. Now we go back and access by clicking this link. And as you can see, we got another shell, and we can get the second flag. So great, right? And we can copy. So the MedPreter sometimes it's not so reliable and stable. I think this is the issue which should be, fixed by the Rapid7 company. Although I admit that this is MedPreter and also Metasploit is so fantastic, and we can put on my notebook. So then we can submit the second flag. As you can see, we can make make progress. So next we got different instruction. So we still don't know enough about how this corporation communicate with criminals. One agent who infiltrated Monetary Corp has extracted the username and password hashes from an old server used by Monetary Corp for authentication. And So I think next we need to attack SSH server within the network. And so first of all, we need to find the machine which is running SSH in this internal network. Before I make scanning, I'd like to create the username dictionary. We can copy and we can open another tab. We can use Vim usernames and paste in here. Next, we need to, this should be the password hashes. We need to crack it before make brute forcing. Of course, you can use website like CrackStation and crack it one by one, but I think we can use John the Ripper to crack at one time. Okay, so how to do? We can use Vim's hashes and paste over here. Now we can use John the Ripper. Of course, we can autocomplete this command. We need to specify the format, otherwise John the Ripper cannot recognize the hash tab properly. Okay, so now we can press enter. Because I already made the crack earlier, and John the Ripper will not go through the process again. So we can use the show and hashes format. Okay, as you can see, we successfully got the password, and I think we can. So how to do? We can copy, and we can use Vim password, and I think we need to remove. Okay, so now we can press right and quit. So then I think we can first of all, we need to make another scanning for the same network in case a new machine is open or is running. Okay, so how to do? Of course, we can use the sudo proxy chains. Have I already configured the proxy chains configuration? Not yet. We need to come out this line. SOX 5. The port number should be 1080. This is the default port number by the SOX proxy when we use Medpreter to set up the SOX proxy. Okay, and right and quit. So then we can use the SOX proxy chains and unmap. Okay, we can use and okay, so now we can press enter to see whether we can find a new machine which is running SSH service. Then we need to, make brute forcing. This machine is the host machine. We cannot make attack against this IP address. Or maybe, to save time, we can use the option of P rather than, the full range port number. Press enter. So I think maybe the proxy has been closed. Or we can use another way, which doesn't matter, we can so maybe we have a problem with the SOX proxy. I need to do I have to restart the Metapreter? Sorry, Metasprite. So maybe all right, I think I need to restart the Metapreter and also Metasprite again. So see you there. Bye. Not bye. As you can see, I restarted the Metasprite and got the Metapreter session again. We can set up the route again. So we can use run auto route as the network. This time I will not use the proxy chain to make the scanning with a map. Make the full range port scan. This, because the Metapreter is not so reliable. Instead, I'd like to use built-in module of scanning. So we can background to this Metapreter session. We can search the port TCP scan, and then we can use this module again, because first of all we need to discover the machine which is running SSH. Then we can make brute forcing, right? So we can show options. We can set the remote host to our internal network and set ports to 22, and we can run it. As you can see, this time we got the machine. I think the surface is 22. It's running SSH. So we can copy. So I'd like to point out again, sometimes we need to combine different techniques. We can put over here, which is running SSH. So next we need to do some brute force. So maybe I can stop this scanning. So we can use another module. This time I will not use the Hydra. We can use built-in module to make brute forcing. Okay, let me show you in action. We can search SSH login, and we can copy this one. This is the auxiliary module we can use, and we can set the remote host to the machine. Set use. Maybe we can show options. We can set the user file to username dictionary. Set the pass file to password dictionaries, and show options again, and then we can run it. I think we have already got the access to this, this machine, and we can run sessions, and this is the second session. If we want to get access to this session, we can use sessions with option of I, and followed by the index of the session, the ID, and we can list files. We can go to the root directory, and I think we can get the third flag. We can use cat. Okay, so we can copy this flag. And now we can submit this flag. So the proxy, we can disable the proxy. Submit. As you can see, we did a right thing, okay, or submit a right thing to the target, and we have been given another task. So the communication mentioned is chat server. This chat server website has to be on the internal network again. So our agent did the network scans, but it wasn't found on port number 80. It might be on the port number. These port numbers we can copy and try to scan other ports and find the chat server. Here the credentials we can copy and put it over here. Now I think we can background the current session by pressing keys Control and Z. And we need to search the port scan TCP because I cannot remember the exact module name as always. So we can, I think this one or which one? So this one we can copy and we can use, and we can set remote host to our internal network, and port number should be this one. We can copy as instructed by the author. Okay, and we can paste over here. Then we can run it. As you can see, we found another machine which is running 8000. To save time, I will not wait. Okay, and so I'd like to control and see. So I think this should be another machine, and we can paste over here. Next, so this time I'd like to use the proxy chain and or SOCKS proxy. So how to do? We can search and the SOCKS proxy, and we can use the first module. This module can help us to set the SOCKS proxy, and now we can just run it because I will use default port number 1080. So I think the SOCKS proxy server has started. We can use the command of SS to display active port numbers. And as you can see, this one is used by the SOCKS proxy. So next, let's go back to the browser, and we need to turn the proxy to mid proxy. Okay, so now we can access this machine. 8000, and we need to provide the password, and we can copy the password and also the password. Oh, sorry, this should be the username and also the password. Sign in. Don't save. So here, of course, this is a very simple application. Chats, we can open up new tab, nothing. So admin. So I think next we need to access admin. Okay, so how to do? And I think you can notice with list effort, this one change password, we can open up a new tab. And we can provide, as you can see, we do not need to provide the existing password. So which means that we can change the password for the admin user. So how to do? Again, we need to use Burp Suite. And so we can turn the proxy to Burp Suite and launch our Burp Suite. Next, start. Very important, you need to go to proxy and also go to the proxy settings. We can search SOCKS and make sure we need to use SOCKS proxy and do DNS lookups over SOCKS 5 proxy, okay? Because earlier I've already made such configuration already. If you do this machine the first time, you need to configure it manually, okay? So now we can close up. And then now we can, for example, we can put anything like a password and change. As you can see, we successfully intercept the request, and we can change the username to the admin, and we can forward. Okay, no error, which is so fantastic. So next, how to do? I think we do not need the Burp Suite anymore, so we can close up the Burp Suite, and we also can, of course, we need to turn to the Met proxy, but we need to clear the current sessions to use the new password. So I'd like to close up these tabs. Okay. And clear the history data, and hopefully we are prompted by the HTTP basic authentication 8000. Press enter. We are, yeah, and then we can admin is admin, username is admin, and password is password. Just now we use the change password function to manipulate the password of admin user. So now we can sign in. Maybe our Metpreter or SOCKS proxy is broken again. Press enter. Don't save. So our SOCKS proxy is still running. So how to do? Maybe I must restart Metasploit again. So see you there. So as you can see over here, after I restart Metasploit and also set up the set up the Metapret session and also set up the SOX proxy. And this time we can get access to the admin. If you open up a new, open up this link, chats, you can get the flag. We can copy and put over here. And then we can also submit. As you can see, we can proceed and try to likely use a backend database, try to compromise the server. We are pretty sure this company is using Elasticsearch. And once compromised, look for information related to buyers. This is the final piece of evidence that we need to take down Monetary Corp. So I think next we need to find the machine which is running on running this service, Elasticsearch. So, okay, so I think I do not want to launch the the proxy chain with a map, because too aggressive maybe. So how to do? I need to, however, I cannot. Can I Control Z? Oh, I need to restart the Metasploit again. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back. I've already restarted Metasploit. So next, I'd like to background the current session, Metasploit session, and we can search the port scan TCP, and we can use the module of this one. We can copy, and we can show options. We can set the remote host to our internal network, and also we can set the port number, because Elasticsearch use the the port number 9200 by default. So now we can run it. As you can see, this we have already found another machine which is running Elasticsearch. So next we can, how to do? We can use the search exploit to look for the Elasticsearch, and we can find this exploit, and we can cut out this Python script. And as you can see, this is written in Python 2. So we can use proxy chains, the Python 2, and the exploit. We need to specify the target. So the target should be 7. Press enter. As you can see, we got the shell, and so used to, oh, so what's the problem? Should be the 7. We can run it again. Maybe I'd like to cut out. Oh, sorry. We need to set up the proxy or SOX proxy. Sorry about that. So we can get to the sessions. We can search SOX proxy, and we need to set, oh, sorry, not set, use. I'm a bit confused because this machine got a lot of tasks to do, and we can run it. And if we go back and we can display the active port numbers on the Kali Linux, I think this is used by the SOX proxy. So we can run the exploit again, and we can run the ID. But this doesn't work. It looks like it doesn't work. So the proxy is stopping. Oh, maybe we need to use sudo. And oh, terrible. Okay, so I'd like to restart the Metapletter again. See you there. As you can see over here, after I restarted the Metasploit and also set up the SOCKS proxy, and this time I use different port number for the SOCKS proxy. Of course, you need to change the configuration for the proxy. Make sure all traffic will go through this SOCKS proxy, and then you can run with Python 2, and then you can get the shell. We can run ID, and you can get why? Interesting. So we can get the final flag. Okay, so sorry, this video has gone a very long time to finish, but I think you can try this machine yourself. I think from my point of view, this machine is very good. Okay, so see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.